A warm welcome to all my dear 5th standard children. Today we are going to see the second part from your force and missions, right. So, let us see the second part from your force and missions. So, in the first session we discussed about, in the first part we discussed about the types of forces, and we also saw what is force, what are the uses of force, and we also discussed about the energy, what is energy and the forms of energy, right. Yes. Now, let us see have a small recap of what is force. So, what is force? Force is a push or pull of an object is known as force, right. So, you can see here any push or any pull of an object, it means that there is some force that we are applying, okay, right. So, now let us see about simple missions, okay. So, now in everyday life we can see many people do various kind of activities, right. For example, if you want to fix a nail on the wall, what you will do? Whether you will use your hand to fix the nail on the wall? No, right. You will use a hammer or you will use some tools to fix the nail on the wall, right. So, the same way we are going to use some simple tools, thereby these tools help our life, it will make our life easier, okay. So, those are called as simple missions, okay. So, we can see missions at our home, right. So, we can see washing machine, sieving machine. So, these are all called as complex missions. So, in missions there are two types of missions, simple missions and complex missions. So, complex missions or examples are sieving machine and washing machine. So, here we can see many type of simple machine work together and they work, okay. So, that is why they are called as complex missions. So, in washing machine or in sieving machine we can see many simple missions will be present, right. Okay. Now, let us write what is simple mission. So, simple mission means the tools that make our work or everyday work or everyday activities, alright. So, the tools that make our work easier are called as simple missions, okay. So, we can say there are 6 types of simple missions are present, okay. So, there are 6 types of simple missions, okay. Now, let us see what are the types of the simple missions, okay. So, there are 6 types of simple mission. The first one is lever, right. The second one is screw. The third one is pulley. The fourth one is wedge. The fifth one is inclined plane, and then the sixth one is wheel and axle. So, wheel and axle. So, these are all the types of simple missions, okay. What are the types of simple mission? Lever, screw, pulley, wedge, inclined plane, wheel and axle, okay. So, these are the 6 types of simple mission. Now, let us see these types in detail, what are they actually, and so we will see the examples also. So, first one we are going to see about lever. So, lever is a rod, so where it is fixed, where it is we can use the it is a rod like thing. So, with the help of a fixed point we can use this simple mission, okay. So, here also you can see a man cannot able to lift the boulder. So, this is boulder, a big rock, right. So, he cannot able to carry the boulder. So thereby he cannot able to move it. So thereby he is using a lever, a rod like thing. So here he is using a small stone, so which is known as a fulcrum. Fulcrum is a fixed point. So here by this small stone he is fixing something, and thereby with the help of the lever he can able to push the boulder, he can able to push the rock. Okay. So a lever is a rigid rod that help the objects to move freely. Okay. Right. Now in this lever we can say there are three things, bases is present in the lever, right. So what are they? So here the man is putting some effort, right. So effort, here the fixed point is nothing but fulcrum and the big rock. So that is actually known as load. So now let us see what are the three things that is present in the lever. So first, as I told you, fulcrum. So fulcrum is the fixed point. Okay. So fulcrum is the fixed point where the lever moves, right. So in any lever there will be a fulcrum. Okay. So with the help of the fulcrum is a fixed point where the lever moves, and we can see there will be an effort. Effort is the force that is applied on the lever. Okay. So what is effort? So effort is a force applied on the lever, right. And you can see a load. So what is load? Load is an object in which work is being done. Okay. So here load. So load. So load is an object in which work is being done. So work is done, right. So these are the three things that is present in the lever. Okay. So there are three parts. So in a lever definitely there will be effort, load and fulcrum. Okay. So now on basis of these three things we can classify the lever into three types. So on the basis of these parts we can classify the lever into three classes. Okay. Now let us see what are they. So the first one is first class lever. So in the first class lever the fulcrum will be in the center of the lever. Okay. So here you can see the fulcrum is situated in the center, right, and the fulcrum is present in between the load and the effort. So here there will be an effort and here there will be load. So this is the first class lever. So in the first class lever the fulcrum is situated, so fulcrum is between the load and the effort, right. So we will see some examples for the first class lever. So what are the examples? Crowbar, seesaw and scissors. Okay. So these are the examples of first class lever. Crowbar, so this is crowbar, seesaw and scissor. So these are all the examples of the first class lever. Now let us see the second class lever. So in the second class lever load is present in between the fulcrum and the effort. Okay. So here the load is present in the center and one side there will be fulcrum, the other side there will be effort. So in any case of lever when the load is present in the center, which is known as second class lever. Now let us see what are the examples of the second class lever. So the examples of the second class lever is wheelbarrow. So this is wheelbarrow. Okay. So wheelbarrow, nutcracker and bottle opener. So what are the examples? Wheelbarrow, this is wheelbarrow, nutcracker and bottle opener. So here we can see the load is present in the center. So here the load is present in the center, here also the load is present in the center, here also the load is present in the center. Okay. So here the fulcrum is present, here the effort is there, here the fulcrum is present, effort is there, here the fulcrum is present, effort will be this side. So when the load is between the fulcrum and the effort, it comes under second class lever. Okay. So these are the examples of the second class lever. Now let us see the third class lever. So what is the third class lever? So in the third class lever, the effort will be in the center, the effort will be between the fulcrum and the load. Okay. So here you can see the effort will be in the center and fulcrum will be in the other side and load will be in the other side. So this type of levers are called as third class lever. Okay. So in the third class lever, the effort will be in the center. So where the force is applied in the center of the lever, right? Okay. Now let us see what are the examples of the third class lever. So the examples are stapler, fishing rod, tongs. Okay. So these are the examples of the third class lever: stapler, fishing rod, and tongs. This is tongs. This one they used to take any papad or puri or any fried items, right. So here we can see the effort is present between the load and the fulcrum. So here the effort will be in the center. So the effort will be in the center of the lever. Okay. So wherein the load will be in the other side and the fulcrum will be in the other side. Okay. So the load will be in the other side and the fulcrum will be in the other side. So the load will be in the fulcrum is this side. Okay. So when the effort is present between the load and the fulcrum, they come under third class lever. Okay. Now you learned what are the three classes of the lever. So first class lever, second class lever and third class lever. So lever is a rod. So where we can move it freely with the help of a rod, we can able to move it, and with the help of lever we can increase the speed or decrease the speed, right. So this is a type of simple machine that we use in everyday life. So the best example is your spoon. So sometimes when you cannot able to open a box, you will use a spoon to open it, right. So here also the spoon acts as a lever. Okay, right. So next we are going to see about the second type of the simple machine, wheel and axle. So here we can see wheel is attached with the rod. So that rod is called as axle. So when the axle turns, the wheel also moves, right. So the examples we can see in a screwdriver and steering wheel in a car, and also we can see in the doorknobs. So in the doorknobs we can see this type of simple machine are used. Okay. So doorknob, wheel and axle, even in the cycle, right. So the simple machine is present in these objects is wheel and axle, right. Yes. Next we are going to see, we can see wheel and axle is present in all the vehicles, right. Okay. Next we are going to see the inclined plane. So what is inclined plane? Inclined plane is a slope. So where we can easily move the heavy loads instead of carrying it. When those heavy loads we cannot able to easily carry. So those loads can be moved from one place to another place by using the inclined plane. Okay. So we can see inclined plane in the hilly areas, the roads of the hilly areas, and slides, okay, ramp. So these are all the examples of the inclined plane. Okay. So inclined plane is nothing but like a slide. Okay. So slide and ramp. So these are the examples of the inclined plane, right. Okay. So next one we are going to see about the next simple machine, screw. So screw is actually a type of inclined plane that is wounded around on a rod. So if you take screw, the screw can able to fix anything which is tightly, okay, and easily we can fix the screw on a wooden board, okay. So here we can see when we take this thing from the screw, so we will get the inclined plane. So inclined plane which is fixed on the rod like this, okay. So here once we take this and we see means we will get the inclined plane, okay. So the example of this is screw and bottle caps, right. So even in the bulb, so 0 watts bulb, that bulbs and all, we will use this type of simple machines, right. Okay. The next one that we are going to see is about wedge, okay. So wedge is we can see there will be two pointed, I mean from two edges it forms a V shape. So thereby it is a two form of inclined slopes, okay. So there will be two inclined slopes forming a V shape, okay. So this type of simple machine is known as wedge. So example of this is hammer, I mean saw and knife, okay. So axe, and knife. So these are the examples of the wedge, right. The next one is pulley. So pulley is a wheel and it have a grooved rim. So on the grooved rim we can use any chain or rope on around it. So with the help of the pulley we can lift heavy weights, okay. So we can use this type of simple machine in the cranes, okay, and also many people used to draw water from the well, right. So this is example of pulley, okay. So we can see two types of pulley is present here. So one is movable pulley, the other one is non-movable pulley, it is fixed pulley, okay. So in the fixed pulley the axle will be fixed and thereby we can use the wheel to rotate, we can lift the water, I mean we can draw the water from the well. So that is an example of fixed pulley. And then in the movable pulley two types of pulley is used, okay. So thereby one will be fixed, the other one will be movable, right. And this type of movable pulley we can lift heavy weights, right. So these are the simple machines that we use in our everyday life, okay. So when all these type of simple machines put together and form a machine, that makes a complex machines, okay, right. So almost in this class you have learned about the what is simple machine and what are the types of simple machine, and also you learned about the examples, right. So what are the what is simple machine? So simple machine is the tools that make our work easier, right. And what are the types of the simple machine? So we saw about lever and pulley, wheel and axle, wedge, inclined plane, and finally we saw about the screw, right. Okay, so these are the types of simple machines that we discussed in this part, and also we saw some examples of these simple machines, and we can see there are three types of levers: first class lever, second class lever and third class lever, right. So go through the video so that you will come to know in detail about the force and machines. Go through the book, and in the below description link you can see a Google Drive link, click that and you will get the lesson related study material. Copy in your science subject note and read it and do the self assessment. So once you do the self assessment only, you will come to know how far you are understood about the force and machines. So hope I will meet you with the next class. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.